distinguished members of government, of the diplomatic corps, the military, police, and honourable guests, the media, friends, directors, management and staff of Recreation Africa. It is indeed my very great pleasure to welcome you here today to this memorable unveiling. Thank you for sharing your time with us, and we trust that you have a splendid afternoon. It is my further pleasure to introduce you to a man who needs little introduction, our chairman, executive chairman and founder, who has three great passions: the Anglo-Boer War, conservation and greening. It is this passion and his remarkable vision, as well as the talent of Adam Madebi, that has made today possible. So please enjoy the unveiling, and I now give you Mr. Robert Forsyth.
No, it's good. Good afternoon, welcome. So nice to have you all with us, and it's good to be doing something like this again. Some of you have been here before. We've done similar things, so it's nice to see old friends. Very good. Even if we only see you once or twice a year. Maybe you'll get to come up here on your own occasionally and bring your friends. That's my true wish. Something like this, it always starts off by a need to thank people for the effort they've put in. You know, nobody plays a game of soccer by themselves, or rugby or anything else. It's a real team effort. And firstly, to acknowledge our artist, who unfortunately isn't here with us today. He's recovering from all the work I made him do. Adam Madebi, he's an exceptional human being and a great artist, and I'm thankful for the many years that I've got to work with him, or I've had to work with him and support him, and what he's done for us. Really terrific, and Lord willing, we'll do some more great work together. He's a really remarkable man, never pushing himself for the limelight, but has such an incredible talent. Stephen Rip always says to me, someday somebody's going to find him. I said, I found him, let me use him for the meantime. I also want to acknowledge Nico Vessels, our architect, who has come up with the inspiration for the building. I told him that Smuts was a Greek scholar, and he gave us a Greek building. So it fits well in the African bush. Fritz Schroeder, our building manager, he put it together very quickly with a little fuss, and I think he did an excellent job, and I want to thank him pulling out the stops there. And then of course there's a lot of research for the story, and Craig Butler, the man in red with the red shirt, our colleague, has together with his team, Vanessa, put the story together. So what's quite remarkable here is an all in-house thing. We didn't have to go anywhere else for any of it. The product mainly is all local, the builders are all local, the artist is local, everything happened in-house, so I'm very proud of that, and grateful to the team for doing that. Of course, Glynis, who I think held the police to ransom, they sent a band here today, well done, and has put on the event. She's our hostess and manager here. She's done a sterling job, and plus she's had to put up with us coming all the time to erect the monument and disturbing everything and tearing up the road and straightening it and so on. So we're very thankful for that. Also grateful thanks to Stephen Rip, who always assists me with these things, gives me little bits, and Alan Coleman, who they found the pips for us and the sword and all of those things, that the hat badge and so on, that went with Smuts, most useful, and I'm really grateful for that. Because I need to thank my fellow directors have indulged my fantasies. Very grateful for that. My wife, who says I'm always playing soldiers, please, she's cut me a little bit of slack. And Timothy George, Godfrey Nyamanopa, thank you very much. Craig Butler as well. Excellent stuff. And I do enjoy what I do. You know, life is about being passionate. There's no point in doing stuff if you're really not passionate. Is there? Oh, some we have to do, but most of the time it's pointless, and you can't live a fulfilled life if you're not passionate about it. So if you'd bear with me if I just take a couple of minutes to answer the why for you. Why do we do this? Anyone asked that question? Maybe a few of you have. One, it's because South Africa has such a rich history, and it's worth telling. I mean, some amazing things have happened and people have forgotten, so it's nice to be able to tell. Someone wrote, "Fear not, you leave us a rich legacy. Rest assured your teachings will not be forgotten. The seed you have sown will not be lost. The books which have opened your mind and guided you will do the same for us in our minds." You know, best not to lose the lessons that have been learnt before, and to apply them. You know, always trying to think myself when something happens, you know, what can I learn from this? Don't know about the rest of you, but I hate to learn the same lesson over and over again, and often it's like that. You'll see the new row of trees here, and if you can imagine it with the eye of faith, you know, when we looked at this, we said we're going to have this row of trees, and you'll drive up it, and suddenly you'll come upon Smuts. And so I put this thought for you here. In La Fontaine's Fables, a young man ridiculed an old patriarch of Haiti who was planting an avenue of trees. The youth said to the old man, "You're never going to see them grow as high as your head." Well, replied the old man, "It does not matter if their shade affords me no pleasure. It may afford pleasure to my children and even to you, and therefore the planting of them affords me pleasure." And I want to say that for the same for the monument, the trees that we plant here. You know, we might not get the shade from them, but I really believe in the future people get a benefit and realize something of value has been done here. We build monuments not just for ourselves, but for those that come after us. And when you come to Kedar, it is my dream that this must be a must-see place when you come to this area. You know, you mustn't pass it by, and that's what we're working towards. We have a goal to preserve the history and to continue investing in it, a goal to make this a green oasis for people and for animals, and we have a plan to make it a bastion of African hospitality. And those are the things that we're working for, and that's the why. Today we unveil this monument, which is really to a great South African hero, Field Marshal Jan Smuts. The other day, my wife and I were at a party, and we were the only English-speaking people there. This Afrikaner came up to me and confronted me. He said, "I hear you building a monument." And I said, "Yes." He said, "And I hear it's to Jan Smuts." And I said, "Yes." He said, "Why didn't you pick a real Afrikaans hero?" And I thought, "You ignorant man. This is one of the greatest Afrikaners who's ever lived, and outshines many of the others. And you know, we need to take cognizance of great men. He was a man that just didn't have a vision for South Africa or the Cape Colony. He had a vision for Africa and indeed the world. And he played on the world stage, and I think he deserves his place in the sun, in this case in the shade. Almost exactly to the day, to today's date, 113 years ago, in September 1901, General Smuts and his commander of 200 men were completely surrounded by superior forces of the enemy near Panhoek Pass. You'll excuse the Afrikaans. The fighting lasted for 11 hours, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. General Smuts and his commander emerged through the enemy, finally breaking out across the Sterkstrom near the Indwe railway line, near East London. They destroyed the railway line, and they destroyed the little village there as they passed. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Smuts was not merely a scholar, an outstanding statesman, but he was also a soldier of tenacity. And I'm sure today we're going to hear a lot about this remarkable life. Then my last page in conclusion, if I haven't been too long. Can you bear another page? Our great forefathers still live amongst us, in their records and in their lives and acts. Their lives furnish us with examples for our benefit, which we may still study and admire and imitate today. Those who leave behind a noble life bequeathed to posterity an enduring source of good and an example which we can reproduce. Hence, a monument to a noble man is full of precious seed, an example set before us to shape our lives, minds, and hearts. Truthfulness, integrity, and goodness form the essence of a manly character. Smuts possessed these qualities and united them with strength and purpose, which produced an inspirational power. He was strong to do good. He resisted evil. And he was a man who could bear up under pressure and adversity. I'm proud today to unveil this monument to Jan Smuts here at Kedar, and I hope you will enjoy what you see. I would also like to invite our speaker, who is his great-grandson, Philip Veyers, to come and talk to us, and he can prepare himself while I pull down the curtain.